Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal, and welcome to another Wednesday live show. Back with me again, I have Cozy. How are you?
I'm okay, bro. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing very good. Tonight, we'll be talking about Villarreal against Arsenal. Tomorrow, we'll be previewing the match, talking about the lineup, talking about the potential. Is it going to be Saka? Is it going to be Smith? Or is it going to be Odegaard? Is it going to be Smith? Or all that we'll be covering all that. But tonight, the news that has emerged is on Sarri. Is his name Maurizio Sarri or something like that? I've forgotten his first name, but yeah, Sarri to replace Arteta. Is it a good move for Arsenal? I don't think so personally. So we'll be discussing all that. If you're watching this on replay, the timestamps will be in the description so that you can maneuver and check out any content you want. So, Cozy, let's begin. What have you made of the news that has emerged today about Sarri replacing Arteta?
Yeah, well, Glenn, I'm gonna say first and foremost, thanks to everybody for watching Glen Kightley, Everything Arsenal. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're hitting the like button. He's the real one. But Mauricio Sarri, it's a report that shocked me. It looks like the stage is a little bit ahead because I thought if it were
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal looking at Sarri to replace Arteta, maybe that would have been a little bit calm and unusual rumors. But the report claims that Arsenal has initiated talks with Sarri. The reports actually claim that we have held talks with Sarri, and Mikel will be
Yeah.
leaving at the end of the season. They do not actually show whether he's going to leave if he fails to win to win the Europa League or qualify for the final. They actually put it plain there that Mikel is going to leave. So it's a little bit of a shocker for me. It was a little bit of a shocker for me, but again, I wouldn't be surprised at this point in time when the Cronkies have a lot of pressure. They've always put the manager as the shield. So putting Mikel Arteta as the shield, I'm not. I won't be surprised. They've made that. They've made Arsene Wenger scapegoat before. They've made Unai Emery scapegoat before. Arsenal fans have thrown rotten tomatoes and stones at the managers, at both managers. When they were sacked, we celebrated. Are we still celebrating? No. So they're going to make Mikel Arteta another scapegoat. His sacking would only be a smokescreen, bringing a manager that they're never gonna back. Try to make Arsenal fans happy because they know what literally makes us happy is when you sack a manager, when you bring in one or two players. That's all, and that's what they're going to do this summer. So I think it only comes in at the right time when the Cronkies are under pressure and they want to win the fans' favor back. They will do anything. They will go to any limits they're
Mm-hmm.
available. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But
I'm not surprised with the pressure on the Cronkies right now.
But can you win back the fans with Sarri? He's not an Allegri or a Pep Guardiola. He's Sarri. I don't think. Yes, he did kind of well at Napoli. I don't know how many trophies he won at Napoli. Yes, he came to Chelsea, won the Europa League, beat Emery in the final, beat us in the final 4-1 or something crazy like that. But has he really been that good of a manager? Depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for experience, then yes, he's a good manager. But are you looking for effort and the like a Conte kind of manager, like a Guardiola kind of manager, like a Klopp kind of manager, someone who would want to motivate the players? I've never seen him having that energy. So, do you think Sarri is a good coach to replace Arteta anyway?
You know what? I think as an Arsenal fan, as a person who understands the Arsenal identity, as someone who wants to see Arsenal go back to the limit, to the levels where we've been before, no, Sarri is
Mm-hmm.
not the man. I've said it on my show before that he is chaotic. He's disorganized. He's gonna disorganize that back room, and you'll feel like Arteta was the best manager in the world. It's gonna make you regret sacking Mikel Arteta. So the
Yeah.
truth is, I wouldn't take Sarri. Of all managers, I wouldn't take Sarri. And it's even gonna be worse if you bring in Sarri and don't back him. It's gonna be
Mm.
absolutely crazy. It's gonna be worse. But for the Cronkies, what they're thinking about right about now, how do we save ourselves? And this is what venture capitalists do. They will always think about how do we save ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We have a manager. Don't be surprised if they sack Mikel Arteta and the pressure remains there and they sack Edu and they change
Yeah.
Vinay. You understand? For them, all they're trying to do is to make someone, you know, accountable? Who is to blame? They don't want to take the blame, so they point at Mikel, they point at Edu, they point at Vina, they point at everyone around them to see that they shed off the pressure. So appointing Sarri, and this is what we are saying, that why the Kroenkes need to leave Arsenal. You can't give us a Sen Wenger for 20 years. He's been a success. Give us Unai Emery, and then give us Mikel Arteta, and now Sarri. Come on, I mean, are you really thinking about this football club? Are you really understanding what you're doing at this football club? Or I think it would be panic buy. I think these are the kind of panic buys clubs do. And this time it would be the Kroenkes trying to save themselves. Maybe if they don't want to sell to Daniel Ek at this point in time, and they want to calm the pressure, they want to put Arteta as a shield, bring in Sarri, tell us, we have sacked Arteta. He didn't have experience, but this guy has been in European football for the last 5 or so 6 years. He's been at Chelsea, he's been at Juventus, he's been at Napoli. He has the experience. He's 60 years of age. He has a lot of pedigree and respect. Okay, so what they're trying to do is trying to give us an alternative to Mikel Arteta, rather than us focusing on an alternative to the Kroenkes. So I wouldn't take Sarri. There is nothing interesting about Sarri apart from his pedigree, experience, and edge.
Oh, he's disappeared. He has had enough. He has disappeared. I'm sure he's going to come back. So just to add to that, for me, I'm really interested to know between Kroenke and Daniel Ike, who does Daniel Ike or Daniel Ek, however you want to pronounce it, want as manager? That's what I'm interested to know. Who does Daniel Ek want as manager? Does he want Arteta to stick as the manager? Does he want Sarri, for example, to be the manager? That's what I really want to know. And right on time, because he's back again. I mean, Kroenke wasn't really liking what you were saying, so I think he cut you off. So I was asking, if Daniel Ek joins Arsenal, do you think he'd want Sarri, or would you stick with Arteta?
Well, I'm gonna say this, and it would look a little funny. I think if Ek signs up Arsenal, takes over Arsenal, he might retain Mikel Arteta. However, I would, if I were Ek, I would change the manager. I would change the manager as well. I think if you want greatness for this football club, you must understand where we are coming from. When we say we need a new manager, we're not only trying to scapegoat and try to make a smoke screen of Mikel Arteta. No, we're trying to say that the levels at which Arsenal must be is not where Mikel Arteta is putting us. So we need another manager. Whether whether you back him or not back him, Arteta is not taking us to that level. We can't be comfortable 5 years out of the Champions League. We can't be comfortable. We are Arsenal. We can't be comfortable playing Europa League semi-finals while Chelsea play Champions League semi-finals. We can't be comfortable. So, but I think Ek would stay with Arteta. Probably give him a summer and then try to see how he'd perform. But in my case, if Ek comes in, you need to change the manager as well. You need to change the manager.
Some other news I've seen today is that Arsene Wenger could also be part of the Daniel Ek deal with Henry, Vieira, and Bergkamp. What did you make of that? Does it excite you more?
You know what? I think right now, of course, I've always told Arsenal fans to stop being so much excited and deluded. But yeah, the truth is, I was excited. And I think the fact that these three legends are guiding us, are guiding the takeover, they're guiding almost the events that are happening at Arsenal. For me, first and foremost, it really shows that these people understand the business. They understand what Arsenal, because they have made it. They made the Arsenal we understand. It is Thierry Henry. When we were 10 years of age, when we were younger than that, it was Thierry Henry. The players we knew at Arsenal, they were Thierry Henry, they were Dennis Bergkamp. And if you ask the best number 10 at Arsenal that has ever lived, it's still Dennis Bergkamp. The greatest striker that has ever lived at Arsenal, is still Thierry Henry. So they understand the club because they have made it the club they want it to be. They have made it the club we understand. The Invisibles. the Arsenal that is unbeatable, the Arsenal that must qualify for Champions League automatically. They have made that, so they understand. So I'm very excited that it's going to work with that Ek will work with them, and so excited that they are also thinking about bringing in fans as part of the board, try to represent the fans. It also excites me very much, bro.
Okay, one last question on Arteta before we get into tomorrow's game. Do you think if we get eliminated, okay, it's still tomorrow's game. If we get eliminated tomorrow, he's gone, or do you think they'll still give him until next season?
If we get eliminated tomorrow, would I stay with him? I mean,
no. Do you think they'll stay with him? Do you think they'll stay with him?
Do I think they'll stay with him? No, I don't think they will stay with him. At the end of it, I think they will stay with him until the end of the season. Yeah. But then they will eventually sack him. Like I said, if he drops out of the Europa League, it works for them now, because what they want is Arteta first in the Europa League. He finished 10th in the season. Literally, he has had a very bad season. They are going to make it a very bad season. Try to look like it's Arteta who has failed, not the whole team, but Arteta, and they will sack him. And they'll sack him. Try to make sure, they're just going to divert us from Kroenke out to Arteta sacked. You understand? And literally what they will do there, they will take a lot of time in speculation. This is the next manager. Oh, Arsenal is looking at this manager. Arsenal is looking at Sarri. Arsenal is looking at Brendan Rodgers. Bielsa in the line. They will take a lot of time just to draw our minds to who the next manager is going to be. So I think it works in their favor. They want to divert us, away from the real issue, which is the Kroenkes. They will sack him. They will sack him just to, for diversion purposes. And I pity Mikel Arteta. At this point in time, he didn't see this coming. He came in as a very strong manager, a strong manager of his word. This is not right. The players are not good enough. This area needs change. That was the Arteta we knew when he had just come in. When he was made head manager, he became a PR official for the Kroenkes. Today he has said that he speaks very often with the Kroenkes, and he's confident they're going to back him. So it's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a very, very surprising element for him if he gets sacked. Very surprising. Very, very surprising. But I know they'll sack him. They'll sack him to divert the media, divert the news, because now it's Daniel Ek and Kroenke in the news. If it's not for the Europa League semi-final, it would be Daniel Ek, Kroenke on an Arsenal takeover alone. But because we have a semi-final coming on, it is, there is some mixture of a semi-final. As soon as we get out of it, we are going to be starting. We shall start hearing Arsenal chasing over managers.
Okay, so I know one place they want to divert our focus from, the Europa League semi-final tomorrow. So there's another planned protest. What do you make of that? Because I'm scared of UEFA. If you try and do whatever United did at Old Trafford, the fans, UEFA will kick you out of the competition and Villarreal will progress. So would you have done the protest tomorrow or against West Brom on Sunday?
I mean, I still remember my words a couple of days ago, 4 days ago. I said the Newcastle game is very important. The Villarreal game is very important. And I tried to explain myself to everyone who watched me. I said, the reason that's why the Newcastle game is important is you need to bounce back. You need to get yourself efficacy back. You need to get your confidence back. Players like Aubameyang, probably, he's got on a score sheet. It's not going to be new if he gets on a score sheet against Villarreal. Players like Gabriel, they have had time to play. So I think Newcastle came at the very right time, very, very right time. Getting the players, try to get a win and boost your confidence. So I think the Newcastle game was so important. Now against Villarreal, I'm looking at this game as the ultimate test. If we're doing mocks, if we're doing pre-tests against Newcastle, now this is the ultimate test. I don't expect him to handle it in the same way he handled the Newcastle game. It would be absolutely crazy. The quality and the intention of the game and the and the tension around both games is so much different. The environment and everything, but I think and he said it today that this game is a challenge and an opportunity. So first and foremost, we have to look at it as a challenge. Go into that game, know you are a goal down. That should be at the back of our minds. We're a goal down, nothing less, nothing more. As soon as we get that goal, now change the game into an opportunity. That's the way we need to look at it. Change the game into an opportunity for us to play the finals, an opportunity for us to win our rightful place in the finals, an opportunity for us to win it, a silverware this season, an opportunity for us to save the season, because that's all we've got to do. Nothing more, nothing less. If there is anything we can do this season, is to save our season by winning the Europa League, or probably going at least as far as the finals. But I'm scared and I'm in panic, bro. Let me first tell you this. Let me first tell people, and I think every Arsenal fan must be scared and in panic mode. First and foremost, we want the best. We want what is best for this club. Absolutely, we want what is best for this club. So we want to go through the finals. We want to win the league, the Europa League. But we look at ourselves. We find ourselves in a position that is very, very, should I say, unfortunate. We are playing against a Villarreal that definitely will score against us at the Emery Stadium. We are finding ourselves against Villarreal, yet we are losing so many games at home. At a point in time, we are losing so many games. We are conceding reckless goals at home. That's why you need to be. That's why we are panicking. That's why panic attacks are all over our bodies. How is Mikel going to handle this? I don't know. How should he handle it? That one I know. Absolutely understand how Mikel needs to go about this game. First and foremost, I think it's going to be an open game, because Arsenal have nothing to lose now. If you sit back and wait for Villarreal, and Villarreal sit back, it ends in a 0-0. They go through, don't they?
Yeah,
exactly. So it should be. I think it's going to be an open war. Villarreal, they always open up. Emery is it's always open to opening up. So it's going to attack. It's going to create those chances. They're going to create the goals. It's either we are too good defensive wise, or they will score more than one. Because literally they should have scored 3 or 4 against us in in Villarreal. Thanks to Leno for saving that Moreno goal, Moreno shot. We should have been, we could have been out. Could have been out.
Fine. Yeah.
We could have been out, but we have a lifeline, and thanks. Maybe should I say thanks to Leno? Probably. For me, in that game tomorrow.
Sorry, let me. Yeah.
In that game tomorrow. I
think you're breaking up a bit. Sorry, just a bit. So we'll come back to you. So I wanted to come back to this question as I wait for the stuff to set up again. So you've spoken about the home record against all the teams this season. So the last home game we played was against Everton, and we had a fans protest outside the pitch, and some players said it kind of affected them. Some fans said it shouldn't affect them, and another planned protest is going to take place tomorrow. So do you think how much do you think the protest affects the players, knowing that their fans like protesting outside the ground? Do you think it affects them that much, like it did in this game? Oops, I think it disappeared. Sorry. So as I was saying, so for the fans actually said last week against Everton, he talked about the fans protesting and our home record being poor. So when we played Everton, when Leno made that mistake, the fans were protesting outside the ground. How much do you guys think that affects the players? Do you think if they protest against Villarreal in the Villarreal game tomorrow, it will affect the performance in the game, in the actual game tomorrow? Because I'm really afraid, because I don't want the protest to affect the players or to affect the game, because UEFA is very serious at this. If we cause chaos, they might kick us out of the competition. How comfortable will the players be with knowing fans outside protesting in our biggest game of our season? So I don't know if he's still there, but the next topic I was going to talk about You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the fan protests, I mean, we've seen it with Manchester United. We've seen it with United. It was what a game has been postponed, and I know everybody understands. We need to keep the pressure going on. We need, to keep the pressure on the Cronkies. However much they want to sack the manager, however much they want to create the diversions, but at least at this point in time, you know, we know, what the real problem is, and all the football community or the Arsenal community is joined together. They understand the problem is never one or two things; it's always the bigger whole. Because for me, you know, the whole makes. I mean, you've got to join the parts, and and the sum you get from the parts will make the whole. You can't, we can't look at the Cronkies as a lesser problem because they're going to sack a manager. So I think the protests would work, but they would affect us. They would affect the players. And it is a very, very crucial game. Very crucial game. So I would suggest maybe in the weekend game, over the weekend game, I've heard that
he's disappeared again. Sorry, guys, for that. So tomorrow's game, Unai Emery against Mikel Arteta again. I'll give you some good news before he comes. Obviously, we've heard that Kieran Tierney is back in training, man. I was so happy to see him back in training. I don't know, would you guys start him right away, or would you have him on the bench? Because there's a chance that he starts and literally helps us get to the final. And there's also a chance that he starts and then gets injured again within the first 20 minutes, and then we don't have him for the entire season, maybe for the final if we get through, and for the rest of the Premier League games. So let me know what you guys would do with Tierney, but I'm so glad to see him back in training. And then the next player that is also back is Lacazette. What do you do with him? Do you start him on the bench? He's been this year, I think he's been amongst our top 5 players in 2021, not the whole season, just this year. I think Lacazette, I think Pepe, I think all of them have really stood out this year. They've been really good. So would you start Lacazette immediately tomorrow alongside Aubameyang? Or would you start him on the bench, or did you do Lacazette? Because I'm also very happy that he's back. Right now, we currently have Lacazette fit. We have Tierney fit. We have Aubameyang fit, Saka fit, Smith Rowe fit. All of them up front. The only players are missing the likes of Sabas. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we approach this game. So Villarreal played Getafe over the weekend, and they won 1-0. They literally rested 9 of their players. They won their game 1-0, and they rested all of their players, the likes of their captain, Raul Albiol at the back, who scored against us from the corner. He didn't play. They rested a couple more players. The likes of Barca played, the ones who were on the bench played. So I want to know how that will affect them, because for us, we also rested the players over the weekend, and they also rested their players over the weekend. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that fares for both teams. Obviously, as we know, Arteta against Unai Emery. Unai Emery, very, very good competition. He's only lost once in this competition in a semi-final, and Arteta has never been in a semi-final in Europe. So again, it's going to be really interesting to see how he deals with this. It's going to be really interesting to see how he deals with this. So if that he disappeared, I'm going to see whether I can get him back. If not, we can just go on. So the next topic I was going to come to was Odegaard or Smith Rowe. Who would you guys start between Odegaard and Smith Rowe now? Odegaard played obviously last time out in Spain, and he didn't really have any impact at all. And he played like 80 minutes against Newcastle this weekend, which kind of tells me that Smith Rowe was rested for 90 minutes to actually play in this game. So this is another thing. I think I did a poll on YouTube on the community tab, and I think like 60% said they would start Odegaard instead of Smith Rowe. So that is going to be interesting. Let me know what you guys would, which player you guys would play, and who do you think will give us the bigger impact or the bigger creativity and the more energy that we want, because we need goals in this game. We only need one, but I think, as he said, they'll definitely score. So I think we need 2 or 3 to go through in this game. So who would you guys start in this game, Smith Rowe or Odegaard? Who do you think will give us the more in that position? The other position is centre back. Gabriel is fit. Pablo Mari is fit. Chambers is fit. He came on as a centre back for Luis the other day. Holding his feet as well. So who do you start in that position? I said in my preview that I wish this game would have been like 4 or 5 weeks from now. okay, me 2 or 3 weeks from now, so that you could test out different centre-back pairings against West Brom, Newcastle's, Fulham's, because I really want to see Gabriel and Pablo Mari playing together. But can you really test out these things when playing against Villarreal in a semi-final? I don't actually think so. So I really wish this game would have been a couple of weeks from now. So also let me know which centre-back pairing you'd have. Personally, my starting lineup, I'd go for, I think Bellerin did well against Newcastle, so I'd go for Bellerin at right back. I know you guys would say Cedric, but Cedric hasn't really played for like 4 or 5 games or something. So I'd go with Bellerin on the right. I'd go with Tierney on the left if he's fit, definitely. I'd go for Gabriel, and holding as the centre backs, I'd go with Partey and Xhaka in midfield, Saka on the right, Pepe on the left, Odegaard as the number 10, and Aubameyang up front. So that means Smith Rowe misses out. That means Lacazette misses out. That means Martinelli misses out. Obviously, you could have Saka as a left back if Tierney is not 100% fit, and then you could have maybe a Martinelli on the left side and then drop Saka back. So that will also be interesting to see what happens. Last week, obviously, we lost the game 2-1, and that one goal, man, we really needed that one goal. I actually think if we didn't score in that game, we would have been out. I actually think if we didn't score, we would have been out, because the moment they score one goal, we are definitely out. So let me take a few comments. I don't think it's coming back. I think something happened. So sorry about that. Let me see. Rishab says, no, please. Sarri would be a disaster at Arsenal. I think he would be too, because people have been talking about Arteta not getting respect from players. Remember what happened to Sarri at Chelsea? With Kepa, he had no respect from a couple of players as well there. So I don't think it can work out for him. As well as he doesn't have that energy. You know, Conte is always talking to his players. Simeone always talking to his players. Pep always talking to his players. Sarri is always just quiet and stuff on the bench. So I don't actually think it can work out for him, unfortunately. Let me see. I have the doubts. Let me see. I have no doubt that we will go through tomorrow. Rishab says that I have no doubt we'll go through tomorrow. I don't know. I'm 70% confident. I think we'll need extra time to do it. I don't think we'll just go through like, you know, after 90 minutes. I really wish you can get 2 goals in the first 10 minutes like we did against Slavia Prague. But I think it will be the way we've been playing this season. I don't think the players have that kind of confidence to go through, unfortunately. Eric says, good team, but is KT fit for tomorrow's tie? He is. He was back in training the last 3 days. He's been back in training the last 3 days. So it's up to us to see whether we are going to risk him or not. As I said, if he gets injured again the first 20 minutes, we're in trouble. If he can play the whole 90 minutes, well and good. Are we confident enough to keep him on the bench and say, let's play him in the final instead, believing that we are going to go through to the final? That's going to be very interesting to see as well. So that's the starting lineup I'd go for. In my prediction, I'd actually go for Arsenal to win the game by 2-1 after 90 minutes, and then we'll nick one in extra time, and then win it 3-1, hopefully. I really hope we can go through. Villarreal in their league currently, they're fighting for the Europa League with Real Sociedad and Real Betis. They did quite well against Getafe in the second half. Didn't really play well in the first half, but played really well in the second half. So in case you need a photo of my team, that's it. That's the lineup. That's the actual lineup I put in my predicted lineup. That's the predicted lineup. That is what I think Arteta would go for. That's not my lineup. I don't think Arteta will start Martinelli, unfortunately. I think he'll start Bellerin because he played really well against Newcastle over the weekend. We could see Elneny, as I've put Elneny in midfield. I've put Jack at left back. I think he'll still stick with Jack at left back. I think he'll stick with Elneny in central midfield. So it's going to be really interesting. Now Lacazette is back. Now Tierney is back. Smith Rowe is fit. Odegaard is fit. It's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. So apologies that my guest disappeared. I think we'll be back with another video soon again. Make sure you subscribe to all my other channels. I have the links in the description. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win again. We've spoken about Sarri replacing Arteta. There's been rumors about Sarri replacing Arteta. I'm not a fan. And then we previewed Arsenal against Villarreal. So as of now, sorry about that. Thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.